people are riled up.
I'm still faster than there.
This movie feels like a classic Western in a lot of ways, so I'm curious for both of you if you have any favorite Westerns that inspired your direction and your performance.
I'll start. Yeah, I've my dad. I grew up watching westerns with my dad. By the way, I love Collider, and he said he would start with the comedies. Your Silverado, Three Amigos. But then he started showing me, deeper westerns. So Once Upon a Time in the West, and then when I was 11, Unforgiven came out, and I was too young to watch it, but I watched it. But then growing up, Deadwood came at a really important time when I was just getting started on my career. So that's kind of what influenced me.
It's Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight.
Mm.
Very different storytelling. Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. And I just saw yesterday by coincidence Dancing with Wolves again, Kevin Costner. I think this is such a love story to Western and that time period, the incredible injustice that happened.
Absolutely. And I feel like when
Injustice, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I feel like when I think of Westerns, I always picture movies that are sort of like well over 2 hours long. So I'm curious for you, Richard, if you can talk about how you managed to make this tight 90-minute film that still feels like an epic in many ways.
Oh, that's lovely for you to say. Yeah, with so many characters and wanting to give the characters all enough time, Lee did a fantastic job with the screenplay. And so we wanted to keep it tight because these days, the attention spans are shorter. So we thought if we could make a tight Western that has really strong themes and really has a lot to say, that it might have a larger audience. Because ultimately that's what we want. We want the most people to come see the story.
Veronica, I like that your character is so full of these dichotomies. I feel like she's very nurturing, but she's also this badass and she's helping these pregnant women, but she obviously can't have children of her own. So I'm curious if you can talk about exploring those different sides of and sort of juxtapositions to her.
It's actually what really attracted me to this project and to especially my part. Of course, you can be strong and yet feminine. Of course, you can be vulnerable and very warm-hearted and supportive of your husband. So you can take care of the house. But at the same time, you can be an amazing doctor and go to all the crazy men who kill each other, who shoot each other, and be there and support them. It was the time. This makes this movie so modern, that it's a world of immigrants. Everybody looks for her or his place. And we as a society have to understand that these characteristics for a woman are compatible to be strong and vulnerable and loving and a badass. So I had the most amazing time with the incredible stunt people who supported me, and I've never done horseback riding Western style in my life before. And Richie, every week he sent me videos of crazy, highly professional people full loping on horses and said, "Can you do this in the movie? I need you doing this. It's very important for me." And I said, "Sure, I can do it." And I was still on another movie. So at night I had to train in a garage on a mechanical horse to get fit. And it worked out. And I'm very grateful.
That's amazing. I mean, this is just such an incredible cast. So I'm curious for you, Richard, is there a specific moment one of your cast members either improvised something or made a really surprising choice that ended up being one of your favorite parts of the film?
Yes, Samuel Jackson really turned the character into something else. He was originally like a bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he created a character with his costume, with his teeth, with his glasses, with his face that was different. And he did it in a really smart way, because to be able to do what he's doing at that time in America, you better be super intelligent. And so he's like the ultimate kind of puppeteer, and he's manipulating the entire town. So he would do things like at the bar when he's summoning the people and throwing Pierce Brosnan's character under the bus. He would just put in a line here or there that only he could do. I can't say the lines, but in everything that he did, he was kind of changing it up to suit him, just as Pierce did to make it more Irish, and more coming from his sad backstory, just as Veronica did to come from her German heritage. All the actors were kind of manipulating because we wanted a very multicultural movie. And so all the actors, Korinka Kilcher was a very different Native American part than we've seen before. So all the characters were kind of manipulating their roles to better suit the story.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that really shines through and also leads really well into my next question, because one of my favorite scenes is between you, Veronica, and Samuel when he's trying to get you to let him in that house. Can you talk about filming that with him and then also just finding the different beats to that scene? Because I feel like there's so much sort of power switching and things that are not being said kind of simmering under the surface there.
So this whole scene, the arc is like a roller coaster. It was like he comes, I'm very hostile, I'm very, very prepared and know and what dangerous times we live, especially after what my husband did. And the last scene I had with Pierce before, where he says, anyone who comes to the house, you will be killed. You have to shoot immediately. And then she meets him there, St. Christopher, and he appears as nothing as than a weary traveler in need, and claiming his shoulder is weak. He needs help to get. He cannot. The bucket is too heavy, and he gets access to her emotional world, and she feels sympathy for him. And when he shares small personal details about like having a daughter to whom he always says, never open the doors to strangers. She thought, oh my God, he is my best buddy. He understands me so well. A clever way of presenting himself as trustworthy and calm, friendly, and disarming in his quiet manner. He manages to win my heart. And without ever pushing too hard. So this fine line he's walking was fascinating and challenging for me too, because she falls for him, for his charm, but is still brave enough not to be intimidated by him. And when her intuition tells her, warning, now it's getting really, really weird. Why does he have these informations? Why is he asking me these questions? So then her strength comes out, and she initially responds with caution. She has to think about her pure life and how to get out of this. And as Sam brings his complexity to life, his brilliant acting skills, it was a wonderful, very subtle acting.
Yeah, it's so much fun, so juicy. I could pick your guys' brain about this all day. I do have to wrap, but congratulations on this movie, and I'm very excited for everyone to get to see it.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you so much. Great questions.